for all that everyone in this room does for so many all year long. As Dickens famously wrote in A Tale of Two Cities, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. On one hand, as we heard this morning, the game has never been in a better place. Participation has never been higher in every category: juniors, first-timers, players, women, people of color, on-course, off-course. They're all at record levels. We even seem to have solved the age divide, with roughly 50% of all participants now under the age of 35. The game, for the first time ever, is cool. There are endless ways to consume it: Topgolf, puttery, pop stroke, simulators, drive box, par threes. You know, the PGA show this year will be a record on the floor in January. We're over a $100 billion industry, as we heard. Our championships have never been stronger, our brand never in more demand. The Ryder Cup gets bigger every 2 years. And on the other hand, the world is seemingly more upside down every day. 2 major wars are raging. The economy is perilously fragile. The political environment is toxic. It's hard to find much faith in global leadership anywhere. And closer to home, the disruption we foreshadowed a few years ago is happening in real time. Professional game as we know it is under existential threat. The cry for more pay is loud and getting louder at our championships and at the Ryder Cup. Media rights deals, instead of being kind of the helium balloon of the last couple of decades, are now a very mixed bag and soft in many places in various sports. Equipment sales are softening, and the growth in general is slowing for the first time post-COVID. Inflation is real and sticky. Interest rates have virtually tripled, and lots going on, right? To be clear, I'm a born optimist. I believe the growth in this game, as you heard from me this morning, is very real and very much here to stay. I see a flattening, but not a scary decline as we've seen in the past. We've made enormous progress on multiple fronts, and I really don't think we're going to go backwards. I think there's a new normal. But trees, as we know, don't grow to the sky forever, and we have to accept that the exponential growth that we've seen recently in the game may take a pause. The new supply-demand imbalance, I don't think, is in golf courses, but in off-course activities. Have too many alternatives been added too quickly in anticipation of that demand? Will some of these new concepts struggle or even fail? And what does that mean for all of us? So I'd like to walk you through kind of what we're already doing and what we plan to do to respond to all this uncertainty. First of all, cost vigilance. We've sadly had to make some cuts this summer, and we will remain very disciplined going forward. Thankfully, I really don't think there's been any programming impact to date. We've worked hard to protect and strengthen the programs and people who support our members and our sections every day. Relentless prioritization. Where is our greatest return for the PGA of America, for its members, and for the game? You've heard about the North Stars. We need to be ruthlessly disciplined in our priorities, with our priorities, because we tend to say yes very well, but struggle with the word no. We are reimagining certain practices and assets. Can we do things differently, more efficiently, without sacrificing on our excellence or our impact? For example, the Senior PGA Championship, which is the oldest senior major in the world, and is a very special event, but it's very expensive for us each year. We're looking at a very different model, and we're excited about the prospects there. Revenue lifts. We've talked a lot over the past few years about protecting and elevating our brand, that it's never been stronger, but to what end? We now have 7 worldwide partners at the Ryder Cup and anticipate adding 1 to 3 more before Bethpage. We talked about T-Mobile this morning, where we announced our exciting new mobile partnership is not only the second highest fee payer, but they also clearly make us better. And that's a very powerful model in terms of partnership. I'll give an example of Chase Sapphire. They were, frankly, a very passive partner. We couldn't see what they were trying to accomplish. So we went to them and talked about ending the relationship, and as they reviewed it, they actually decided to double down. It's kind of much bigger, much more lucrative for us, because they saw the value in the relationship, even though they hadn't unlocked it. Citibank left the tour in their relationship there to join us on the Ryder Cup, because they saw real value in a more accommodating partner in us. And that's what we mean about the value of our brand. It's all very encouraging. As you know, we've launched a new brand campaign. We hope this will further enhance our brand and its attractiveness. We love this game as a campaign that 29,000 PGA of America professionals can embrace to tell your story. While tour professionals play for millions, as you've heard all week, PGA of America golf professionals help millions to enjoy the game for a lifetime. On the reach side of things, as you know, we launched a campaign 2 years ago towards a 100 million goal. We've added several impactful trustees, and in fact, we had a gift yesterday in the multi-millions. We have one contribution of an all-time record contribution from one single entity of $9 million. We very fully expect to get to 75 million by the end of this year, fiscal year, on our way to our 100 million and beyond. This allows us to do a whole lot more good and at least partially endow our future impact as well. Make Golf Your Thing is an industry effort to grow the game and grow it in the right way. We're 3.5 years into it. There's a lot to be proud of. There's successes, there's deliverables. Sandy Cross on our team is driving it along with her partner at the tour, Nira Shidi, and it's done very well so far. And it's leveraging the industry to do our part of our mission. Focused execution. We also need to fully execute on our current initiatives and compete on excellence. I'll name a few. Frisco, it's everything we've dreamed of and more. If you wonder why we moved, all you had to do was walk around tomorrow because you've just seen it. Reviews are off the charts. Everyone's blown away. ESPN came for the Junior League and was absolutely taken with it. And associates that are coming through every day are wide-eyed and reminded mightily why they joined the business. It's not only a great culture builder internally, but across the association, and we want to maximize that as much as we can. Deferred comp, hopefully a game changer as a recruiting tool as well as for life for our members. It's had a little slower start than we hoped, but growing momentum. We've got 5,000 members that have signed up. 700 have fully qualified to reach the threshold for payout. And just on November 1st, we crossed the $1 million payout mark. So that's $1 million to our members. Recruitment. 2 years ago, we talked about our biggest problem was that the demand problem for game had become a supply problem of professionals. As you'll hear more from Nathan, we've very intentionally began recruiting in various ways, and it's paying lots of dividends. We've also told the quality of life story in the media and whomever will listen. The momentum is in the right direction, clearly. There's consistently better play over the last 5 years, as you heard, ahead of the rest of the country. And it's harder to measure, but anecdotally, there are generally better hours, as we hear, for most in the market. And our theory is better balance, better life for all our members. We continue to invest in member services. Regional Model 2.0 will be rolled out in the first quarter and getting closer to our sections and our members. We have an updated approach to education that is getting great reviews and having a real impact. And our goal is to go faster, to go cheaper, to modernize, and have no sacrifice of quality. On the PGA coach side, we've invested heavily there, and we've got over 100,000 bookings year to date and continuously steering leads to our members. It's been a major investment, but we're significantly increasing business for dedicated users. On the section finance, as you heard from Craig yesterday, things are looking hopeful. We've done tons of work with EDs to raise the service level and the satisfaction. The technology group has delivered yet again, and our member app is now launched and has multiple services already loaded, and we're headed towards all member over time PGA interactions in the future being conducted through this app is our vision. Going forward, we clearly have much to do. We need to raise the members and section satisfactions per our North Stars. We have to develop a full-blown off-course plan. How do we convert to on-course? And that's in the works and should be rolled out in the first quarter as well. We're exploring a career academy. How do we penetrate the second career market for talent that has disappeared? Our brand campaign, as I talked about, is to tell our story, to differentiate, to end the confusion, and to tell our story. As we've long said, our voice should be the most balanced, the most thoughtful, and the most informed view in the game. We have multiple examples, but in the distance debate, we've been the most visible advocate for the overall game and have rallied all the global PGAs around that view. During the disruption in the professional game, we've been a thoughtful voice and will continue to monitor, influence, anticipate, and respond to whatever the ecosystem looks like in the future. Very importantly, we need to protect our assets, make sure we're around for another 100 years. We've assembled a strategic task force of board members and leadership to think through the possibilities and our best path to emerge not only intact, but stronger once this dust settles. And then lastly, in this, I would close on this final note, and that is that this is the first annual meeting for a lot of our new colleagues, but I'd like to call out 2 from our management team specifically. Craig Kessler, our COO, who you heard from yesterday, has already made an enormous difference in the first 9 months, so thank you, Craig. And also like to welcome John Connolly as our new CFO and thank Rona Amy for all her passion, her hard work, and her dedication over the last decade. Thank you all for your time, your partnership, and this opportunity. This role is, without a doubt, the most fulfilling experience in my life, and it's a true honor and a privilege to serve and call you all my friends. Thank you very much.